Yo, what it do, what it is, man. It's your boy Burke, aka Samo. And this is some more of it. I'm gonna let my homie send for holler at y'all real quick.
Yeah, it's just some more. It's just some more of it. Yeah, it's just some more of it.
Yeah, man. So today, man, we're gonna do something different, dog. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna react to this Texas drill documentary that Dallas Drill dropped. Shout out to Dallas Drill. And it's based out of Houston, north side of Houston, Texas. If y'all don't know, I'm from Houston. From the south side though. But I know a little bit about that north side. So yeah, man, without further ado, dog, let's get straight to it, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Let's get it.
Texas wasn't always drill. It wasn't always blood on the pavement. Names turned into numbers, or whole cliques built around death dates. Drill was born in Chicago, carried to New York, spread to Atlanta. Texas already had its own wars, long before anyone called it drill. Until one page rewrote the script. Dallas Drill. It turned the streets into a stage. Every body, every betrayal, every scream was no longer just a secret of the hood. It was out in the open, on screens for the world to see. What was pain became spectacle. And soon, Houston caught the fire. San Antonio followed. The name spread like a curse, and with it came the killings, the blood, the fear. Texas is no longer just a scene, it's a graveyard, a drill scene carved from violence and death. This is Texas Drill, Death in the South.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Yeah, my fault, y'all.
On the north side of Houston, there's a clique with many faces, many names. Some call them SSC, the Silent Sack Chasers. Others call them K for K, known on the streets as Kill for Kill. Two names, but when tragedy hit, they came together under something even darker. They started calling themselves SOG, Spaz Out Gang. This wasn't just a new title, it was a vow, a pledge, a way to honor the life of the young man they lost, a member they called Spaz. In the streets, names don't fade, they echo. And when Spaz was murdered, his clique made sure his name would never die. They branded it into their identity. They even gave him a number, 23. The date he was taken from them, July 23rd, 2022. It was the early morning of July 23rd, 2022. The streets of Spring, Texas were quiet until violence ripped the silence apart. Around 4:45 a.m., deputies with Harris County Precinct 4 got the call, a shooting in the Breckenridge West subdivision. When officers arrived, what they saw was something straight out of a nightmare. A silver Honda sat abandoned in the middle of Stanley Canyon Drive, its doors still open, its windows shattered by gunfire. And lying in the roadway was Spaz, just 18 years old, his body unresponsive, his life already gone before help could arrive. Two of his friends stood there frozen in shock. They had watched the whole thing unfold. They had pulled up with Spaz that night, and now they were standing over his body. But the nightmare wasn't over. A second 911 call came in just minutes later. Another victim, shot during the chaos, was stumbling through the neighborhood, knocking on a stranger's door, begging for help. That man survived, but Spaz never got that chance. Investigators pieced the scene together. According to the witnesses, Spaz and his crew had driven into that subdivision for one reason: to fight a teenager named Jamarian. The two sides met in the street, fists flying under the dim glow of streetlights. The fight eventually broke apart, but instead of walking away, Jamarian pulled out a pistol. He raised it toward the silver Honda and unleashed a storm of bullets. Glass exploded, metal tore apart. Both Spaz and another passenger were struck. And just like that, an 18-year-old's life was erased in the middle of a neighborhood street. After the gunfire, Jamarian ran, disappearing into the dark, leaving Spaz dead in the road and his friends standing in silence. Not long after the shooting, investigators named their suspect, 18-year-old Jamarian Williams. Witnesses told deputies he was the one who pulled the gun, the one who fired into the Honda that night. He was arrested and charged with murder. 2 years later, on October 3, 2024, Jamarian stood in a Harris County courtroom. He didn't fight the case, he pled guilty. The judge sentenced him to 20 years in prison.
Damn. Damn, he only got a 20 piece for that shit? That's wild. Shit, boy, you got off. Damn. R.I.P. to all, to the victims and shit like that. But man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. In Houston, you can depending on what county you in, bro, they can get away with all kind of shit, bro. I don't know what the fuck be going on with our laws and shit out here. But now 20 years, bro, shit. With you 18, shit, you'll get out in a decent time, shit.
Silent Sack Chasers isn't just one set moving by themselves. They're clicked up with multiple gangs in Houston. One of those gangs is 200 Gang, out of 4 Acres Homes, a hood better known as the Murda. SSC rapper CEO Gucci claims he's from Garden City, also called the Bricks, just a 4-minute drive from the Murda. But CEO Gucci and SSC don't post up everywhere. They thug in Acres Homes. That's where you'll find them. Silent Sack Chasers isn't just tied in with 200 Gang. They're also clicked up with 8-9. 8-9 carries its name as a tribute. It stands for August 9th, 2021, the day a young man named Keyshawn, known on the streets as KJ, was shot and killed. The 8th month, the 9th day, his death date became their identity. His name became their flag. After he was killed, they started calling themselves Keyshawn Marksman. August 9th, 2021, the middle of the day in Northwest Houston. On Pittner Road, the sun was out, kids were playing, and life looked normal. But by noon,
this game, you're not ready for.
The sound of gunfire turned an apartment complex into a killing ground. 2 young men were in the parking lot that day. 20-year-old Keyshawn Cornett, known as KJ, and his friend Lee Edwards, just 19. According to investigators, a man approached them. Words were exchanged. Voices rose. What started as an argument escalated fast. The man pulled out a gun. The quiet of that afternoon was shattered by shots. Bullets ripped through the air. Both KJ and Lee were hit. In a desperate attempt to save his life, KJ jumped into a car and tried to drive away. But he didn't make it far. The vehicle rolled to a stop inside the complex, with KJ's body in the back seat. He never made it out. His body was left in the car, lifeless, the engine still running. Lee was rushed to Ben Taub Hospital, fighting for his life with multiple gunshot wounds. Hours later, he was gone too. Witnesses described the shooter only as a black male. He fled the scene in a small black SUV. No name, no arrest, no justice. The case remains unsolved.
Man, what these little niggas be at shooting these videos with all these guns and shit? That shit crazy. I'm talking about, nigga, they got some big shit too. These niggas ain't bullshitting. They ain't got nothing less than a 30 in they shit.
But a year before KJ was killed, 8-9 had already felt the pain of losing one of their own. His name was Charles. On the night of June 20th, 2020, shots rang out in Acres Homes. Police said a black sedan pulled up near Wheatley Street and Glen Avenue. They claimed someone inside opened fire on a group standing outside. Charles was hit in the chest. He was rushed to the hospital, and at first, officials said he was expected to survive, but he didn't. And for the people who knew him, the story the news told wasn't the truth. They didn't believe it was a drive-by. They said it was personal. According to those close to Charles, it wasn't strangers in a car who pulled the trigger. It was someone he trusted, a friend who, they said, was jealous, a friend who pulled the trigger and then called it an accident. Whether it was jealousy, hate, or betrayal, the end result was the same. 8-9 buried another young life. After Charles' death, they began repping 620, the date he was killed. And when KJ was murdered a year later, 8-9 tied both names together. Carrying 620 for Charles and 8-9 for KJ, 2 young lives, 2 death dates, 2 names that became the foundation of their identity.
That shit crazy, bro.
BNG, Breaking News Gang. A set out of Garden City clicked with PMO, Power Moves Only. For a while, they ran with 8-9. But in the streets, alliances don't always mean loyalty. Sometimes, they're just setups waiting to happen. July 2021. BNG rapper Daro Baby brought 8-9 member Trey out to a video shoot for his single Mash to Gash. The video dropped on YouTube that same month, and there's Trey, blue hoodie, clutching an AR pistol, posted up like family. But behind the scenes, Daro Baby already had a different plan. He wasn't just shooting a video, he was staging a back door. When the cameras stopped rolling, Trey slipped into another room with a female. That's when Daro Baby made his move. He grabbed Trey's ARP and walked out. That off-camera moment lit the fuse. One act of betrayal turned old friends into enemies. From that night on, the lines were clear. BNG and PMO against 8-9 and their allies. Trey wasn't about to let it slide. Later that year, he caught Daro Baby's father and opened fire. Bullets tore through him. Daro Baby's father survived the bullets, but Trey had already proven long before then that he was willing to kill.
Oh, he shot Daro Baby daddy? I know this shit sound crazy. Daro Baby. He called Daro Baby old man his father. Nigga shot your daddy, bro. That shit crazy.
Back in 2019, 3 years earlier, he claimed his first life, and it happened right outside a teenager's home in a quiet Houston neighborhood. October 26th, 2019. In the Barker Cypress area of Houston, 19-year-old Andreas Patterson walked outside his home for what was supposed to be a meeting. But what came next wasn't just betrayal, it was an ambush, according to his mother.
Some people came to the house and attempted to rob him, and he ran into the garage and they shot him multiple times in his back.
It was 8-9 member Trey who pulled the trigger. The murder was caught on surveillance video. The moment he ran into the garage, the shots followed. Bullets tore through his back, dropping him where he stood. Andreas collapsed inside his own home, just feet away from safety, while his family inside was powerless to stop it. Days later, Trey was arrested for the killing, but despite the murder charge, despite the video evidence, he was released on a $50,000 bond. An ankle monitor strapped to his leg was supposed to keep him in check. It didn't, because even with that monitor on, Trey kept moving, kept plotting, kept pulling triggers. In May 2000,
what the fuck? They got this boy that was charged for murder, a $50,000 bond. He got out the next year, charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Filed a motion to deny bond. Bond set for $150,000. Makes bond 1 year later. This nigga bonded out not once, but twice on a murder charge and an assault with a deadly weapon charge. Come on, bro. Hell no. Y'all kept letting this boy out. What the fuck going on? Y'all can't be serious. No way he should have got out for that murder. That was on camera. What the fuck?
2020, while out on bond, he caught another charge. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He violated curfew. He tampered with his GPS. He ignored court orders. Again and again, the system let him walk free. By February 8th, 2022, Trey's name was already stained with blood, and that night he added more.
Then he got out and killed somebody else, bro. In 2022.
It happened in an apartment complex off Ella Boulevard. 2 men had been lured there, thinking they were coming for a meeting. But what they walked into was an ambush. Trey was waiting in a parked car with 3 other men. When the victims arrived, surveillance video caught what happened next. Trey burst out of the driver's seat, assault rifle in hand, sprinting toward them. Over 50 shots tore through the night. One of the targets was hit but survived. But in the chaos, Trey's own crew fell apart. 1 man in the back seat opened fire as he stepped out, and another, 20-year-old John Kelly, was struck in the back of the head, killed instantly. The ambush backfired. One of their own left dead in the parking lot, while Trey and the others ran. Prosecutors later said Trey was the mastermind of that drill. Even while on bond for a previous murder, he had orchestrated another. By the time the case reached trial, jurors weren't just looking at Patterson's murder in 2019. They were also staring at the 2022 ambush. Surveillance footage of Trey running with an assault rifle still fresh in their minds. The jury didn't hesitate. Trey was convicted of Patterson's murder, and for the trail of violence that followed, he was sentenced to 99 years in prison. He'll have to...
God damn. I had a feeling that they was probably lining him up for this. Part of the reason why they probably kept letting him off on bond. No, it was either one or two things that was gonna happen with them doing that. He was gonna keep doing what he was doing, and they was just gonna reel him in for the long haul, or he was gonna get killed in the process. You know, so yeah, man, that shit crazy though, bro. Like I be feeling like certain charges you shouldn't get no bond, bro. That shit should be like, nah, bro, we ain't letting you out. You out here causing too much ruckus and chaos.
To serve at least 30 years before he can even be considered for parole. For the families of his victims, the sentence was justice delayed. Andreas Patterson's mother said it best. If they had done right the first time, someone else's loved one wouldn't be gone. Now Trey sits behind bars, and this time, there's no bond, no ankle monitor, no second chances, just a cell, and 99 years to remember the bodies he left behind. (2023). The night was supposed to be routine, just another Uber ride. BNG member TJ sat in the back seat, scrolling his phone, the city lights sliding past the window. What he didn't know was that Jay Chapo from SSC was already hunting. The car slowed. The silence cracked. Gunfire tore through the air. Bullets punched into the Uber, one ripping into TJ's arm. Glass shattered. The driver...
Damn, yeah, I shot a nigga in the Uber? God damn, you young niggas road with this dog. Nigga can't even take public transportation around this house. Y'all shooting the Uber car up, bro. What's going on? God damn, you ain't gonna let the nigga get out there, motherfucker. Y'all just gonna shoot the people car up, man. I tell you, man, nigga don't want it with you young niggas. Y'all different, bro.
Driver panicked, slamming the gas, swerving into the night, his passenger bleeding in the back. The driver did what he could, called 911, and rushed TJ to the nearest hospital. But even in safety, the nightmare followed. Police searched TJ as doctors worked on him and found a gun. He left the hospital not as a victim, but as a suspect, loaded into the back of a patrol car. For Jay Chapo, pulling the trigger was only...
Damn, imagine getting shot, then getting drawn to the hospital and they find a gun on you. And now you finna go to jail with a bullet in you. That's cold blood. That's cold-blooded, man.
half the mission. The other half was making sure the world never forgot it. On secret animosity, he rapped, "Caught his ass in traffic. Know we did him nasty. Bet his ass won't ride in a Uber." And on 357, "Caught one on a scooter and one in a Uber. I bet they ass know how to stay in their place. But the silent sack chasers weren't.
Why y'all rapping about it though? That's what I don't understand, bro. Like, y'all committing crimes and then y'all rapping about it, bro. That ain't how, you know. It's crazy, dog. It's like y'all niggas be like, hey, police, DA, come get me. Like, damn, bro. Like, you gotta. I ain't gonna be able to catch you, man, if your mouth closed, man. Lord Jesus, it's like y'all be wanting y'all peas for the wrong shit.
Weren't done. In 2024, they came for another BNG name, and this wasn't just anybody. Daru Baby was the one who lit the fuse in the first place, sliming 8-9's Trey and igniting a war that's been burning ever since. That year, SSC member Black tried to finish what Daru Baby started. He slid on Daru Baby, catching him in the streets and pulling first. Black had the ups, but Daru Baby was ready. The mission failed, and Black almost lost his life in the process. Daru Baby wasted no time putting it on wax. In his single shoot and drive, he taunted the failed hit. Almost had Black, but he fast than a bitch. We do not tolerate bloopers. How the fuck you trip?
This bootleg design style is making people thousands a month, but so many people don't have the capabilities to make it.
June 7th, 2024.
Y'all really rapping about crimes, bro. Like, that shit is crazy, dog. Y'all make it so easy for the police, man.
The streets took another life. That day, BNG member Baby O was shot and killed under circumstances that still remain unknown. On the picture on screen, Baby O is seen crouching low, throwing up a gang sign. Just behind him stands TJ, his arm in a sling from when he was shot riding in an Uber months earlier. An attack carried out by
they let him out. Okay, he got out on that.
SSC member Jay Chapo. The streets weren't done with Jay Chapo's name. It came back, louder, bloodier, tied to one of the deadliest nights Houston had seen in years. September 14th, 2024. What started as a block party on Laura Copy Road turned into one of Houston's deadliest mass shootings in years. It was just after 2:30 in the morning when a vehicle pulled up to the crowded gathering. Inside, silent sack chasers, Jay Chapo, Black, and Low. Their target, a BG member named Cameo. They opened fire without mercy, more than 50 rounds ripping through the night, shredding the block party into chaos. But
I remember that shit. That shit was all over the news out here in Houston. These niggas had really did a motherfucking mass shooting at a block party. That shit crazy, dog. Like, that shit was all over the news, bro. Like, they was saying a bunch of people had got shot. But, you know, when you outside all times of the motherfucking night, that's the type of shit that happened, bro. This shit happened at like 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. Ain't no way I would have been out there. Fuck that shit.
by the time first responders arrived, the street was a nightmare. Bodies sprawled across the pavement, neighbors screaming in terror, and paramedics wading through blood as they fought to keep the dying alive. Jarvis Faltree, 24, and Breon Stewart, 23, were pronounced dead at the scene. Marlon Jackson, 24, was rushed to the hospital but didn't make it. 8 more people, men between 22 and 49, and a 43-year-old woman, were ripped open by gunfire. Some were dragged into ambulances, others thrown into private cars, all of them bleeding out, hanging by a thread. Against all odds, they lived. Detectives with HPD's Homicide Division sifted through the evidence. Shell casings, low-quality surveillance footage, and flock camera hits that helped trace the suspect vehicle. Within days, they had names. Jay Chapo, real name Javion Tyrus Knoll, 21. Black, real name Jacqueline Willis, 20. Low, real name Markiello Jamal Reynolds, 20. All members of SSC, all now tied to one of the darkest nights Houston has ever seen. Each one charged with capital murder. Each one facing the weight of 3 lives lost and 8.
I wonder when niggas get picked up for shit like this. Like, what be going through their mind, bro? Like, I really be wanting to know, like, do y'all be scared, bro? Like, cause y'all gotta know, like, damn, bro, like a nigga probably finna go to jail for a long ass time. And it's like, do y'all even like think about this shit before y'all do it? Like, that it's a possibility that we might go to jail for this shit. You know, it's a bunch of motherfucking cameras out here. You know, niggas ain't gonna like the fact that random people getting shot. So they gonna take the extra mile to try to figure out who did this shit. And it's like, do y'all even just be like sitting to yourself like, man, maybe we shouldn't do this shit? Or do y'all just really don't give a fuck? Like, y'all just don't care? Like, you know, I don't know. I want to know, bro.
8 more nearly taken. But when the warrants came down, investigators made a chilling discovery. All 3 were already in custody. Jay Chapo sat in Harris County Jail on an unrelated case. Black and Lowe were locked up in Los Angeles, also on separate charges. According to HPD, the trio wasn't just terrorizing Houston. They were leaving trails of violence across the country. As one investigator put it, these individuals were wreaking havoc everywhere they went. And now, they're finally off the streets. A month after the Laura Copy massacre, Houston's streets were still bleeding, and the cycle of death wasn't slowing down. October 29th, 2024. Just before noon, outside a Family Dollar on Bingle Road, BNG member Bankroll, only 19 years old, stood in the parking lot near his car. Hungry Money Boys member Tristo, real name Christopher Enrique Torres, 22, walked down, raised his gun, and sent a single bullet crashing into Bankroll's skull. It was an execution in broad daylight. Shoppers scattered. Cameras captured everything. Witnesses said Tristo and a woman had gone into the store with Bankroll earlier. They left, but when they came back, Tristo didn't hesitate. He walked right up, aimed at Bankroll's head, and pulled the trigger. Bankroll crumpled onto the pavement as chaos erupted, screams cutting through the parking lot. Paramedics fought to keep him alive, but the damage was irreversible. Not long after, the 19-year-old was gone. The killer didn't get far. With witnesses providing descriptions and a license plate number, Houston police were able to track the suspect vehicle within minutes. Inside, they found Tristo, the unidentified woman, and the firearm still in the car. He was arrested on the spot, barely 30 minutes after the shooting. At first, prosecutors charged him with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But when Bankroll's death was confirmed, the charge was upgraded to murder. 3 months after Bankroll was executed outside a Family Dollar, BNG suffered its deadliest strike, the face of their set, the voice of their side, Daru Baby. On the night of February 18, 2025, just 3 days after walking out of jail, he walked straight into the shadows of death. A Circle K gas station on West Tidwell Road became his final stage. Daru Baby, real name Darren Liggins, 22, pulled in with his girlfriend and a 5-year-old girl in the back seat. It should have been ordinary, a routine stop, a quick trip inside for change. But the night had other plans. A black car crept into the lot. The passenger door cracked open. Silence shattered. Gunfire erupted, violent and unrelenting. The shots were surgical, aimed at one target, Daru Baby. He fell just feet from the car where his girlfriend and the child sat paralyzed, trapped in terror. The vehicle was shredded with bullets. By sheer luck, neither the woman nor the little girl was struck. But Daru Baby wasn't spared. Blood pooled beneath him, soaking into the concrete. When first responders arrived, there was nothing left to save. Only a body, abandoned.
Like, come on, man. Like, nigga don't even know. It's like you never know when your time gonna come, bro. You never know who watching you. You never know. It gotta be a fucked up way to live, dog, when you just always gotta look over your shoulder. You ain't never got no chance to just sit and just be like just be cool without having to like worry about it. Somebody following you, like you always clutching, like you can't go nowhere, you can't do shit. Cause niggas is on some like SOS type shit on you. You feel me? Like they gotta be a fucked up way to live, bro.
Abandoned to the night. The streets felt the weight immediately, and the internet carried it further. A video emerged. Daru Baby sprawled lifeless. Officers surrounding him, red and blue lights flickering over tragedy. For BNG, this wasn't just a loss. It was a public execution. Their leader, their voice, murdered with the city as witness, while his family watched in helpless horror. Months later, investigators revealed the names behind the ambush. Pries Pierre Addison, 20, an associate of the 200 clique, already locked in Harris County Jail on unrelated charges. When his connection to Daru Baby's murder was made public, 200 rapper 13 Shawty World posted a photo with him, a silent oath written in blood. Connor Robinson, 18, Addison's accomplice, a participant in a series of cold, calculated robberies earlier that month. Spill a drink, distract the clerk, pull the gun. Robinson admitted one of the robberies himself, pointing at Addison as the ringleader. Together, they orchestrated a murder in broad daylight, in a city that had already seen too much.
All right, man. Shout out to Dallas Drill, dog. Cool documentary, dog. Just to show you what the fuck going on in these Texas cities, these Texas streets, man. And man, we just gotta, gotta get a hold of these kids, these young boys, man. I know this shit been going on for the test of time, dog. This shit been going on for forever, bro. It's like we keep saying the same shit over and over and over, bro. We gotta stop the violence. We gotta put the gun down. Well, man, it just seems like there's some shit that's just a cycle that's gonna constantly keep repeating itself, bro. And people just gotta learn, man. As the generations grow older, this son is gonna make it out. This son that ain't gonna make it out. You feel me? And that's just the way it is. But man, I appreciate y'all, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this video, dog. Got some more coming for y'all, man. Just stay tuned, dog. We're going to be doing a lot of these long reviews, man. So get your popcorn ready. Get your whatever you smoking, whatever. Get it ready, man, because we're going to have some more coming. Y'all be cool and stay dangerous, dog. I'm out 100.